Kalispera. So Spiros gave me the charge. What you heard was the positive reinforcement and the positive outcomes of individuals. I have to give you the administrative side. So they're the good cops. I'm the bad cops. So I would like to thank Tony Spevitz. Dr. Tony Spevitz is our designated institutional officer, who is our ACGME and Observership chair. So she went through this presentation, very short, very brief, but just to give you an idea of the challenges, which are the ACGME from their perspective, proceeding with international medical grads, what the match results looks like, and where that data is available. It's available online. The ECFMG, which was the Educational Commission for Foreign Grads, has now really migrated towards the USMLE using that. And then lastly, a little bit about our observership, with Dr. Mezitis spoke to about the Federation trying to organize the observerships, what we've done thus far, and how we're all active and happy to participate in observerships for our Greek students. So again, just to give you a kind of a ballpark, there's 12,741 programs teaching 153,000 residents and fellows. So the ACGME oversights all of those. And what they focus on is work hours, milestone training, faculty development, and then residency training in the United States, sponsored by the U.S. government. So they have a fiduciary responsibility to the government, which makes them a little challenging to work with at times. For 2020, for example, again, this is publicly available data, 47,000 applicants for the match, which included 10,000 non-U.S. international medical grads. In 2020, 29,000 seniors applied for 36,000 spots. 51% matched their top three choices. 94% match overall. So there's opportunities for both U.S. and foreign graduates in the match, as you see. For PGY2, which was the second year residents, there's again 2,700 positions, a 69% top match, and 98% match overall. That's important to know as an international grad, that there is opportunity, there is space within the U.S. system for the international grads. This is just a breakdown of where they are, but from an international grad standpoint, internal medicine, family medicine, pediatrics, neurology, and pathology were the top where the people went. There is within the ACGME, there is a non-standard training program, which was discussed moments ago, which was training from foreign students, either through the program themselves can host a student. The training itself can hold a J1 visa, which still exists, which was previously sponsored by the ACGME, now sponsored by the ECFMG, and an institutional recognition of underserved. That still exists in the country, in our country. So therefore, if you have an institution that is underserved for family med, internal medicine, whatever, they can host a spot for an international grad. The ECFMG has kind of partnered with a data collection agency to be able to provide that information back to the government about where the students are coming from, what their scores are, things like that. Again, not as relevant, still relevant to you, but not as powerful as they were, because the ECFMG administered the clinical skills exam. That doesn't occur anymore, because now, as previously described, USMLE 1 is your basic science examination. USMLE 2, step 2, is your clinical science exam. So they kind of form, yet you still have to be registered and certified by the ECFMG. So it's not an arduous process. There's not a lot going on here. Here's where we can help, where we feel that we can offer something to our international students, is that observership programs. Dr. Tzanis at Boston has done 20 years worth of observership program. I've hosted students in the past. I probably will host again upcoming. There's been successful clinical and research programs of observership and short times clerkships sponsored by the World Hellenic Biomedical Association as well. He's built in a really robust alumni program. What we've done, and Spiros and the Hellenic Medical Society in New York, Dr. Dangas, Manolis, have all had students with them internationally. As you heard, observerships, which may be individually sponsored or institutionally sponsored. The institutionally sponsored are clerkships. Observerships are with the individual doctors. The Hellenic Medical Society of Philadelphia, under Dr. Hadjiliadis, Dr. Zapala, and myself have also sponsored students. We have our success stories. The Pan-Avian Society, which I just dealt with, I just worked with, just had one. There are various success stories. They're here on the podium with us today. What we are trying to do is become organized. We're trying to, through a federation, organize all these efforts, be at once a repository of information to be able to provide that to people who are interested in coming to the States, both observership, clerkships, and other opportunities. Some photos of individuals. So Dr. Poga was the Pan-Evian Society sponsored a 1-month clerkship with me with Dr. Poga, and she did very well. She actually gone on to return to Greece and do dermatology here with a letter from us. Ioannis was with me from the BU CREEP program at Cooper. That was a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, came right as COVID was starting. He was there for 2 weeks, and we had to ask him to return to Greece and be safe. And it actually worked out very well. He wishes to return. So the pros of clinical observership, as described: relationship with programs and faculty. You meet with the PD. You understand the U.S. healthcare system. You can get a letter from your rotation mentor. That's one of us. The cons of the expense. We at present don't have the logistics. We don't have that in place. Who knows? That may be something we can work on. There's no clear impact on application, but implied. I would suggest to you that a letter from Dr. Mezitis, myself, others, a strong letter from us has value and has weight. So again, I would suggest, and that was, again, vetted by our DIO, designated institutional officer, who works with the ACGME. So she agrees with that. So take home, ACGME is a body of regulatory body that you should be familiar with. They have all the data available that you need to, as a student thinking about the application to the United States, review. That the USMLE is your stepping stones, is that you have to register with the ECFMG as an international student, but you have to take the USMLE and take it, obviously, do very well as you can. And then observerships are from the diaspora. That we believe our physician networks, our federation, our medical societies will support you, picking a mentor, picking someone to work with, and hopefully work you through the process. So I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity to say a couple words. I talked as quickly as possible to move the program along. So thank you.
Very well done, Dr.